Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of TerraFirmaCraft. This is Cybinary, and first off I need to apologize to everybody. This is a voiceover of the video that you're currently watching. I did one of the classic faux pas of YouTubers. I hit the record button, I started playing, and went through this entire episode with my mic muted. So it happens to everybody, and we always laugh when it happens, so this has been my turn. So I thought, well, what am I going to do with all the footage that I just shot, as muted as it may be? You'll hear the game footage, but you won't hear me talking at all. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do a voiceover of the work that I did, just so that footage wasn't wasted. What I started off doing was basically going over the metal that I had collected and started working on building or smelting that copper that you see there in that vessel, and building a saw. Now, since you are allowed to cook 4 things in a kiln, I also wanted to add one more item to the kiln, 3 more items to the kiln, because you'll put the one vessel that has the metal in it that you want to melt. Then you've got 3 more slots in the kiln. So as you can see there in my inventory, I've got a saw mold and then an ingot mold. And I decided to go ahead and make one more mold to fire in that kiln before we light it. So here I am making the mold for a pickaxe head. And now we have our pickaxe head mold, a saw mold, and a regular ingot mold. So I hope you guys are enjoying the series. It has been a lot of fun to start working on TerraFirmaCraft. It is a little bit different mod. As you can tell, things are a lot different than regular old vanilla. So it seems like you guys are enjoying it. I have been seeing quite a few views and quite a few likes based on it. So I do appreciate that. And if you guys have any suggestions about what I'm doing, then please feel free to post them on the comments of the video. I'm always up to hearing what other people have to say about the video itself. So I've already put the straw into the kiln, to the pit, and now I'm working on putting the logs in. And at this point I have a little bit of a trouble. A shift clicked, I believe, instead of just regularly clicking the logs into the kiln. And now I'm going to try to make an axe head from memory. And that didn't go well, as you can see. Looking back on this as I watched the video, I can see where I just missed two squares. That's all I needed to do to get that axe head fixed. But I go ahead and I look it up, and I get that axe head built, as you can see here. Go ahead and do the napping. Yep, that's the right recipe for an axe head. So hindsight is always 20/20, as they say, right? So make an axe here, and then we're going to chop up that wood and try to get the kiln started. I say try. Say again, shift click, when all you really need to do is just regular right click to place the logs. So it requires 8, and then we're going to light it, and we've got our kiln going. So that'll take a little bit of time to get going. Let's go ahead, and we're going to put a log on the fire and make some more torches. And check our meat to see if we have any decay, because I have read that sometimes the food will start to decay and you have to keep an eye out for that. So that kiln will go for a good while before we see any progress. So I thought maybe we could go out and do a little adventuring and see if we can find any more of the metal that we need, basically the iron, to make a pickaxe head, because the metal that we're smelting now is mainly going to be for the saw blade that I would like to make, so we can start cutting up some wood. So at this point, I'm kind of looking over my inventory to see what we've got as far as tools, and let's get those torches out of there. And I believe at this point I do make my first hammer. It's a recipe that I haven't explored up to this point. It is using you do build a hammer using the knapping method, like you do with all the other stone tools. I believe at this point what I'm doing is I'm looking up the recipe for knapping a hammer head. So we will get back to that in just a second here as our kiln continues to burn. And that torch never did light because our fire went out. So I forego that part, and at some point I need to try to start working on that piece of leather that I've got in my inventory. I know that's that'll be a big help. Of course, I'll need some more leather to be able to make some leather armor. So, and now we're working on our hammerhead. Here we go. We've got ourselves a stone hammer. Put that on the edge of a stick, and there you are. Hammer time. And even though it's nighttime, I believe we're getting ready to go out and do a little bit of exploring. Yep, here we go. Unfortunately, I would like to time these episodes a little bit better so that the bulk of the recording isn't done inside my little hut. And I may advance the clock on the game a little bit, or not advance, but I mean play a little bit on the game just to advance it so that the recordings that I do are for the day. Okay, so at this point I'm talking about those different types of metals that are iron, and that what metals we want to be looking for out there. But I think I saw a skeleton across the pond there that I didn't even want to attempt to combat, considering the javelin is not a very good long-range weapon. So I'm looking at the wiki a little bit more right now, and I do apologize about that. I probably spent too much time on the wiki while I was recording on this episode, and I'll work on doing better on that. I'll do my reading off camera and form a plan for the episodes so that while we're recording, I've got all my ducks in a row. So since this is kind of a new thing for me as far as recording Let's Play episodes, I do need to think about the plan for the recording before hitting that record button. So, alright, so at this point we're going to check to see if that skeleton's gone yet. Maybe we can get out and do a little bit of exploring out in the darkness. Never a good idea, but we'll leave that door open just in case we need to make a hasty exit into our base. I do, at this point, I do mention that I do want to do some exploring, because I have felt a little constricted to this area since starting playing this mod, but I do like the progress that we've been making. So I'm just looking around to see if there's anything I can collect out here while we're waiting on the kiln to smelt our liquid. So And right there off in the distance across the pond, there's a wither skeleton. That's the first time we've seen one of those. Let's see how I do against the zombie here. This is, we've got this one zombie here with, we're going to go to town with our hammer. We got another one coming down the hill there. But then what I don't realize is there's one sneaking up right behind me here. And that's going to be trouble, considering all I've got is a knife. Yep, there we go. So that's not a good time. Time to retreat. We've got 3 or 4 zombies here, even though it is daylight, that are working on getting to us. Now this is an interesting thing. I only put 1 block there. I don't know what I was thinking. I probably thought that maybe that 1 block was going to be enough. But I thought, all right, let's go ahead and make another hammer, because that seemed to do some pretty good damage. And let's throw that hammer on a stick. And I hear the zombies dying, which is all well and good, because, you know, it is daytime out there. But what I don't realize is that they jump over that block to try to get to me. And I'm so excited that the kiln got done cooking that I wanted to check out our liquid copper. You hear the zombie burning? Well, he just came into the base, and I'm concentrating on that. Look at how close I came to getting attacked by a burning zombie just because I didn't put a second block there. There you go. Hindsight. Always 20/20. So we still got quite a few zombies out there playing in the pool, so we're just going to leave them out there and check out our vessel of copper. So we've got ourselves 100 units of copper. 100 units is what it takes to fill up a mold. So to fill it up, all we got to do is drop the mold into the vessel that has the copper in it, and I get an achievement for some kind of Catholic chocolate thingy. So I'm not exactly sure what that is. And now I'm not sure how to get the saw blade out of the mold, so I'm trying to place it on the ground. There we go. We put it in our inventory, and yeah, the mold is destroyed when you pull the blade out of the mold. So now we have ourselves a copper saw, and I get the carpenter achievement. And now I need to get me some logs to try out my new saw on, because logs are what you use the saw on to make planks. So now we're working on getting some planks, and at this point I am not sure how I need to go about getting a chest, because I've got planks, but I don't have a crafting table yet, and 4 of those only makes a stack of planks. So I spent a few minutes here playing around with that and looking at the wiki again, trying to figure out how to go about making enough planks that I can make a chest, and so I can start storing some of this stuff and not carrying it around everywhere. But this is a good step. We have ourselves a saw, so we now can make planks and stacks of planks, and that's a good step forward. As you can see in my inventory here, I've got 6 pieces of iron. I need 4 more to be able to make 100 units, smelt 100 units of iron in my vessel here. Once I get that, then we'll be able to start mining. So let me fast forward a little bit here on the video. And we'll get to the point where I start exploring a little bit. Okay, sorry about that. Again, I will continue working on not spending so much time on the wiki on the episodes, and have a battle plan in place for what we're going to do next. So At this point, I'm going to put away the wiki and work on doing a little bit of exploring now that it's daytime. I want to try to find some more iron and see if it's possible to continue on with our metal age here and get some and be able to start mining, because I think that's where we're gonna spend most of our time, is collecting ores and such, and seeing if we can get ourselves some metal armor. So we're gonna take a little walk here. We notice the different kind of trees. The white trees that you see are the sycamore trees. That's the ones that I've been cutting down up to this point. That one that I just looked at, I believe, was an oak tree. So I'm going to continue walking this direction just to see what's on the other side of this hill, because I haven't done much exploring, and I would like to see what else is out there. Maybe find some unusual new metals or other plants that I can use. So, and I did notice, I didn't notice those little orange plants that you see over there on the right hand side when I was walking this way, but I did notice them on the way back. So we'll talk about those in a minute on the way back. Again, this is all just more grass and the usual rocks that I have been picking up in the past. Some more sticks here. Now those rocks are different, but I don't realize that until I look at my inventory a little bit later. Those are what's, I think they call it marble. And so that's one of the things I'm going to do a little bit of reading on, is what I can do with marble before the next episode. And we've got our, I need to read up on what I can do with the wood, because obviously there's plenty of recipes for wood. Poke my head down in a cave here just to see what's what. I'm still a bit of a coward when it comes to caving until I get some armor, and definitely a sword. So that island out there at this point has intrigued me, because we haven't seen anything except regular old dirt and clay. So I'm curious as to if that's TFC's version of sand. So we're going to go out there and collect some of that and see if that's sand, and then we'll find out what we can do with sand, if we can smelt that up for some glass, or what we can do with it. So, well, I'm going to head out there and collect some sand, and it is sand but I'll find out that here in just a second once I collect some. It sounds just like sand also. So see, there we go. It's heavy and very small, according to what that description said. So we're going to collect a little bit more sand here for good measure. It will be interesting to see how you go about smelting sand for glass. So I do keep looking up every so often just to keep an eye on the time, because I don't want to be caught out here this far away from my little base after dark, especially being as vulnerable as I am right now. So at this point we do find ourselves some new plants. So we've got ourselves some tomatoes, and so I go about collecting some of those, which is always good. I'll show you here that I've been eating nothing but protein, so the game's going to want me to try to vary up my diet a little bit. And we also get some seeds when we're picking up these tomatoes, so there's a very good possibility that we'll be able to plant some seeds and start a farm in a future episode. So go ahead and store some tomatoes in a vessel there, and then continue looking around a little bit. See some more tomato plants, but I've got enough of those. We really want some more metal, though. We want some more iron if we can find it. The sun is starting to set, so I decide to start heading back here in just a minute, after just doing a quick once over, just to see if we can find any other kind of stones or rocks that are laying about that might be interesting. And unfortunately not. There's a lot of those yellow pyramid or Christmas tree looking plants, so we've got quite a bit of clay underneath us right here. And this is where I find out that that's not the typical rock. That's a marble rock. So again, we'll do a little bit more research on our marble and see what we can do with it. Maybe there's some napping that you can do with a marble too. So that'll be interesting. So, yep, the sun's starting to go down, so we need to start heading back and get back to where it's safe at night. So very carefully. I haven't taken much fall damage in this game yet, but I've been trying to be careful. I don't do a lot of running and sprinting, so I'm playing it kind of like a UHC episode, even though I'm not really racing to get resources quickly. So we're gonna continue on here. I think at one point I do hear a zombie below us, but that'll be a cave that we'll have to explore a little bit later. Lots more yellow Christmas trees here, so lots more clay around. I have a feeling we're going to be using quite a bit of clay in the future. So now we're getting back to that little ravine and some of these yellow plants, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of them and check out what we've got here. And those are soybeans, so that's good too. We end up getting a couple soybeans and a couple soybean seeds as well, so that will add those to our garden. And right now it's just getting too dark to worry too much about anything else. So we really want to just get back and get some shelter. So again, I apologize for not for forgetting that my mic was muted, guys. But I didn't want this footage to be a waste. I did feel like we made significant progress with this, even though a good 5 or 10 minutes of it was me staring at the wiki. Again, I apologize for that as well, and I will work on not doing that in the future. So if you did enjoy this episode, please be sure to give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe for future episodes. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Have a great day.